In the Bougainville context, a manager's liaison role can create both opportunities and risks. Managers are expected to consult vendors, community leaders, landowners, relatives, business partners, government officers, and other stakeholders. These relationships are important because Bougainvillean society places strong value on kinship, reciprocity, community obligation, and the Wantok system. However, the same relationships can influence procurement, recruitment, contracts, and other organizational decisions. The Wantok system is not automatically corrupt. It can promote trust, cooperation, mutual assistance, and social responsibility. The problem arises when loyalty to relatives, friends, clans, or political supporters becomes stronger than the manager's duty to the organization. For example, a manager may be responsible for selecting a contractor to repair a government building. One bidder may be owned by a relative, clan member, close friend, or former business partner. Even when that company is capable, the manager has a conflict of interest because the personal relationship could influence or appear to influence the decision. A conflict of interest does not necessarily mean that corruption has already occurred. It means the manager has two competing interests, a professional duty to choose what is best for the organization, and a personal, family, clan, political, or business relationship that may affect impartial judgment. In Bougainville, managers may face considerable social pressure. A relative may say, "You are now in a senior position, so you should help your own people." A clan leader may expect preference for a local contractor. A political supporter may request a contract as a reward for past support. A business friend may expect confidential information about a tender. Refusing such requests may be interpreted as disrespect, selfishness, or rejection of community obligations. This creates a difficult situation because the manager is not only acting as an individual. The manager may be seen as representing a family, clan, constituency, or community. However, once the person occupies a public or organizational position, they have a responsibility to protect resources belonging to the whole organization or population, not only their own network. The main risks include biased procurement. Contracts may be awarded because of relationships rather than price, quality, experience, or capacity. Poor quality services. An unqualified Wantok business may receive work that it cannot complete properly. Inflated costs. A manager may approve excessive prices to benefit friends or business partners. Confidential information being shared. A preferred vendor may receive tender information that other bidders do not receive. Exclusion of capable businesses. Honest and qualified companies may stop competing because they believe decisions are already predetermined. Damage to public trust. People may conclude that government positions are opportunities for distributing benefits to relatives. Internal conflict. Staff may become divided along family, regional, political, or clan lines. A particularly important point is the difference between an actual, potential, and perceived conflict of interest. An actual conflict exists when the manager is directly involved in a decision affecting a relative or personal business partner. A potential conflict exists when a relationship may influence a future decision. A perceived conflict exists when other people reasonably believe that the manager may not be impartial, even when the manager believes they can make a fair decision. Perceived conflicts are especially important in small communities such as Bougainville, where relationships are widely known and reputational damage can spread quickly. A manager may honestly believe that a relative's company is the best contractor, but the public may still question the fairness of the process. The correct response is not necessarily to exclude all local, family-linked or Bougainvillean businesses. That could also be unfair and could prevent local economic development. The proper response is to manage the conflict transparently. A responsible manager should 1. Declare the relationship before participating in the decision. 2. Record the conflict in writing so there is an official record. 3. Withdraw from the evaluation or approval process where necessary. 4. Allow an independent committee to assess the bids. 5. Use clear criteria such as cost, experience, quality, delivery time, and past performance. 6. Keep written records showing why the successful vendor was selected. 7. Avoid private meetings or informal promises with interested vendors. 8. Ensure all bidders receive the same information. 9. Seek legal, procurement or governance advice when the relationship is significant. 10. Report attempts to improperly influence the process. A useful Bougainvillean approach is to distinguish between helping people fairly and favouring people improperly. A manager can help local businesses by explaining procurement requirements, organising training, advertising opportunities openly, and encouraging joint ventures. However, the manager should not secretly change rules, leak information, or guarantee contracts to Wantoks. The manager should be able to say, open quote, "As your relative or community member, I respect our relationship. But in this position, I am responsible for protecting public resources and ensuring that every qualified bidder is treated fairly." Close quote. This approach does not reject Bougainvillean culture. Instead, it applies cultural values such as honesty, collective responsibility, respect, and protection of community resources to modern management. In fact, misuse of the Wantok system harms the wider Wantok community. When public money is wasted on an unqualified contractor, schools, health services, roads, and government offices suffer. Therefore, protecting organisational resources can also be understood as protecting the interests of the broader Bougainvillean community. A strong manager in Bougainville must therefore balance 3 responsibilities: maintaining respectful relationships with communities and stakeholders, making decisions according to evidence, policy and organisational objectives, and declaring and managing personal relationships that could compromise impartiality. The liaison role should help a manager obtain information, build cooperation, and create partnerships. It should not become a pathway through which friends, relatives, political allies, or business partners gain unfair advantage.